I'm going to discuss the features of the TLR split channels action set and demonstrate its use in 2 short video segments. This first segment will focus on the features of the TLR split channels action set, and the second segment will demonstrate how to use the action set for some advanced black and white conversion. So I'll be using a stock photograph that I downloaded from a site called stock.exchange. This is a very colorful photograph. It has lots of crunchy detail in it, and we're going to see that it poses a challenge for doing black and white conversion and doing that with any single channel as a candidate for that black and white conversion, or even any single simple black and white conversion technique like desaturating the image. The TLR split channels action set is a free download. I have it open here. You can see that there are a number of actions in it, and this action set will create up to 10 separate layers and 10 channels for your photograph that will give you different options for your black and white conversion. Now, as a convenience, there are actions for things like just doing the RGB channels, which would then leave you with 3 layers for the red, the green, and the blue channels. CMYK channels, if all you want is the 4 cyan, magenta, yellow, and black channels from a CMYK conversion. And then there are also the basic sorts of black and white conversions. Desaturating a layer, going to grayscale mode and taking the gray channel, or making a lab conversion and taking the lightness channel. Down here are actions that combine these in different groups. Let's go ahead and let's run the all channels action. One of the things you'll notice if you use Photoshop CS or beyond, we'll use layer groups to keep everything organized, so that you'll find your RGB channels in one layer group, you'll find your CMYK channels in another layer group, and then the simple black and white conversions are just left as simple layers themselves. So here we have all of the different layers, each one of these representing one channel from a photograph that's been converted, for example, to CMYK mode. We go up here, open this up. We now have a layer that represents the cyan channel, one for the magenta, one for the yellow, and one for the black channel. Now, it's very difficult to make good, effective choices about which of these you want to use from these thumbnails. So the channels are also left intact. You can delete those later if you want to save some space. But by clicking on them individually, we can then make some choices about which channel might serve well as a foundation for the black and white conversion. Because when you get ready to convert to black and white, if you're going to combine information from multiple layers, it helps to start with a foundation that's going to get you the furthest distance so that you have fewer features that you have to paint in from other layers. You can see that the red channel here has a great deal of contrast to it. I like the lights up here, but the door has lost almost all of its detail. And these blue areas here on the wall are also excessively dark. Now, closely related to the red channel in RGB is the cyan channel in CMYK. I like the door here a lot. The door is dark. I also like the lights. The lights have a lot of detail to them. The wall here, I might be able to live with this. It seems to me a little dark, a little excessive, but there's not as much detail. But the details in the street could use more punch. The paving stones seem a little flat here. For example, if we compare this to something like, maybe the gray channel here, there's a lot more detail here in these paving stones. Or the black channel. The black channel has a great amount of detail in these paving stones, also in this piece of wood over here. Not much other detail, but I definitely would not want to use the black channel as the foundation for my black and white conversion, not unless I enjoy painting and want to paint in all of the features in the door and the surroundings and the wall. But I will remember it for the paving stones in order to restore detail to those. Now, if you had to choose a single layer for the conversion here for black and white, you might start with the lightness channel, a little washed out on the door, desaturate, has more detail to the street, but the door has lost some detail. It's gotten a little flatter. The gray channel has good detail to the door, has some less detail to the street here, has good detail to the wall. The lights also have good detail to them. So I might want to start with this as my foundation if I had to use a single layer. And that was all I was going to do from here, was make adjustments using levels, for example, or curves. Fortunately, we're not limited to just one layer. When we do the black and white conversion, we can select among these different layers and take the best features from each in order to make a fine art black and white print out of this. That's a discussion that will have to wait for segment 2. I'm Glenn Mitchell from thelightsright.com. Cheers.